Hi, my name is Courtney, and I'm interning with Pine Hill Cemetery, which is right down the street from Westfield this semester for spring 2025. And this video is just going to be me talking about my experience with the internship and talking about my responsibilities and what I do and all that. So, who am I? Like I said, my name is Courtney. I'm currently finishing up my junior year at Westfield State. I work in the Writing Center on campus, and I also run on the Writing Center Instagram. And this is my first internship experience. Yeah. So, like I said, I work with Pine Hill Cemetery. A little bit about them. They are a small operation with just the superintendent, who I work with, and a few groundskeepers. This will have a volunteer group called Friends of the Pine Hill Cemetery, which Professor Lang is a part of. And they have many historic burials, but are also actively operating still. So what to expect with this internship? I was responsible for writing 7 scripts, which were conversations between a veteran and 2 tour guides discussing the veterans' experience with the wars they were each a part of. I did some research, but was mostly provided with sources and obituaries to locate information to use in the scripts. Most of my time was spent drafting and revising the scripts for historical accuracy. So for theming, each of the tours each year has a different theme. This one was veterans, so it was 8 veterans total who were buried in the cemetery. Other themes they do for the next semester, they're doing a women's themed one, which is really, really cool. And yeah, so just 7 veterans who are buried relatively close to each other. So for the team, there's me, obviously the intern, writing the scripts. Callie is the superintendent and also the person I worked with the most, who I met with every other week and who I talk to the most about the scripts. And then Luann is a researcher who also works for Yale, and she provided me with most of the information that I needed. For location, as you can see on this map, it is right down the street from school. You could walk there if you wanted to, but it's a really quick, easy drive just down Western Ave a bit. And I went to the office, which is across the street from the cemetery, every other week to meet with Callie to talk about what I was working on, so it's really easy to get to. So what I do, like I said, bi-weekly meetings on site, that pictures of the office across the street. I reviewed the research that was provided, documents, articles, obituaries, and stuff like that. Then plan, draft, and revise the scripts, revising with new information as it was provided to me as we found it. This is a sample document that I was given. So this one was for Edwin Lay. And it just has information about a church that he paid for and had donated the money to give it to as a gift for his grandfather. And so I have lots of sources like that. Pros and cons. It's a really creative opportunity with an amazing team to work with. And I absolutely loved it. For cons, it's kind of an overwhelming amount of information and to sort through, and also writing each script so that each veteran has a unique voice was really difficult for me. So the process: review information provided by Luann and make notes, organize the information with key details to include, draft the script as a conversation back and forth between the guides and the veteran, and then send the script to Callie and Luann for review, and always fact-checking information and adding and changing things with comments. So this is a sample script I have. This was in a drafting stage. This is not the final version of it. Like you see, the yellow is where there's comments on it. And it's just situated like a conversation. Each script was about 3 pages long. We're probably gonna have to trim them a little bit for timing reasons. But yeah. So organization is so important. I cannot stress that enough. So I had a whole folder in my Google Drive which had a separate document for each veteran, and I set this up the first day I met with Callie with the information. And then you can see the last document there has all the links to Find a Grave, which we'll talk about next, I believe. Yeah, so Find a Grave is a website that has information about every cemetery and every person buried anywhere, which is kind of crazy. But so we use this source a lot to look at obituaries, to look at pictures of the veterans, to see information about them and their families. So as you can see, this is an example of Edwin Lay's page. So it has his birth and death information, where he's buried, where to find him, And then if you scroll down a bit, there's pictures of him and his grave, and there's some family information about his parents, his grandparents, his siblings, his kids, his wife, all that sort of information. Necessary skills. Self-paced time management is really important because you're going to be working on your own time to write the scripts. Creative writing and revision obviously is a really important part of this. And then problem solving and just adjusting to change. Like, as there's new information provided, you have to go back to older scripts that you thought you already finished and adjust them. But what you'll learn, local history, or I guess local people who are local, who fought in like major wars like World War I and II, in the Civil War and stuff like that. Working as a team, it's a small team, but it's super, super important to take the feedback from Callie and Luann to make adjustments. And then also script writing, which is a form of writing I hadn't experienced yet. So other events include the table read after we finish the scripts, and then the dress rehearsal, and then the actual tours themselves. So these are going to be across 3 weeks after the semester ends, but I'll be attending all of them. It's just really cool to start to see it come to life with the table read that I've already been to, and then we had the dress rehearsal next week. And then, yeah. So overall, I really loved this internship, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's a great opportunity for creative work, which those kinds of opportunities are harder to come by. And this one is so close to Westfield State and so convenient. Also, just a delightful experience. And you get to learn a lot. So that's all. Professor Lang, like I said, he's part of the Friends of the Pine Hill Cemetery. So if you're interested in interning with the cemetery, you can contact him, and he can help you write a cover letter and resume and get in touch with Callie to start working. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.